Welcome to Living Once Twice, a lifestyle design and personal adventure podcast. My name is Justin. Come with me as I'm here to help you chart your course for creating the fulfilling life you desire. Join me as every Wednesday we'll dive into the inspiring guest stories, remarkable science, and useful strategies to help you create the momentum you need to take action towards designing your dream life. Remember, your dream life is waiting for you. It's time to go for it. You deserve it. Greetings all, Justin here. Welcome back to the Living Once Twice podcast and the start of season 5. This fall marks the 2-year anniversary of the podcast, and I'm very appreciative to you all for tuning in, taking part in this journey. And I really hope that this upcoming season provides more fuel in the form of stories, strategies, science as we rewrite our narratives, reinvent ourselves, and reimagine our lives. Before I get deep into today's season 5 episode, I want to encourage you all, if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at Living Once Twice so that you could be sure to check out more insight, inspiration, and information on upcoming episodes. So for today's episode, I want to discuss one of the lessons I've been learning during this season of my life, and that is personal accountability, putting our own stars into alignment when it comes to designing and enjoying the things in life that we yearn for. Because we talk about this all the time. We all have dreams, hopes, inspirations. These are the driving forces that really fuel our human spirit, whether it's becoming financially independent and secure, starting a family, quitting a job and starting your own business, traveling the world, developing more self-love, building healthy relationships, having inner peace, writing a book, you fill in the blank. But these are the goals, these are the visions that really spark a fire inside of us that gives us the passion to live and to strive each day. However, the reality that holds true for so many of us is we don't believe either any of it's attainable for us, or we don't know exactly how to get that which we desire. And then there's a compounding effect that happens because we then start to make excuses, or worse, we wait. We wait for someone or something else to happen to come along and save us. And that winds up resulting in us either procrastinating on working towards that which we desire, or we just become so overwhelmed inside, we completely freeze and take no action at all. This has to stop. We have to work on getting out of our own way, evading our own capabilities, and blocking our own blessings to get and experience that which we deserve. And today is the day that we're going to address this roadblock. But I need you to realize that it's going to require you and I to challenge ourselves, to push ourselves, and to trust ourselves to understand that at all times we have the power to, again, put our own stars into alignment. And no one else is going to do it for us, and we shouldn't expect anyone to do it for us as well. So in this episode, I want to offer you 3 things that you and I need to start doing today if we want to see and make progress towards our dream life, exercising the agency that we sometimes fail to apply because we indeed have everything we already need to make things happen in our lives, to make our dreams come true, to make our visions a reality. But I want to go deeper here than just saying take action, because that's always the end goal. We always are trying to get to that end goal of taking action, but we're going to need some building blocks to generate that momentum, and I'm going to cover 3 today. With the first being that in order to start putting our stars into alignment, you and I need to get clear on what we want and why we want it. In order to reclaim our agency, to start putting those stars into alignment, we have to become crystal clear on what it is that we want, and more importantly, why we want it. It's not just enough to say, I want to be rich, I want a new job, I want a loving relationship. You and I need to be definite and clear as possible, especially on that why, because A, it's going to give us a clear vision to work towards, so we know deep down inside what it is, and we're not necessarily looking to the left or the right and getting kind of distracted. And the second reason it's important for us to be definite and clear on our what and our why is because then it's going to root us in an anchor of understanding what it is we want, but that rooted anchorness and really being grounded in that what and that why is going to help us to stay steadfast and grounded during those moments when you and I get knocked off course, we experience a setback, or the winds of life just blow us off course. And these are all bound to happen anyways. So having that clarity, especially on our why, it's going to just deepen our intrinsic motivation to keep persisting towards our dreams, our goals, improving the quality of our lives in general. And it's also a reminder that we could turn to that will help us to stay focused and energized along the journey. So I kind of turn the baton to you. Why do you want to be rich? Ask yourself. Is it so you can take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, make an impact on your community? Like, go deep and ask yourself about that why. Why do you want to move? Maybe it's because you're no longer growing where you are in life and you value growth and you want to create a new beginning for yourself, to be challenged, to grow and experience things both personally and professionally. Or why do you want to change jobs? Maybe it's to preserve your mental health, or you feel that you have more gifts to offer the world and you want to use your talents in a more meaningful and fulfilling way. I could go on and on with examples, but hopefully this gets the point across that I repeated in season 4 from reading Brendon Burchard's book, High Performance Habits. Listen, with no clarity, there is no progress. And maybe you've heard the quote from Thomas Munson, which is, a man without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder, never likely to reach home port. So know what you want and watch how more intentional you will become and find yourself as you're moving toward that goal in your vision that you were striving for. The second thing that I want to offer when it comes to putting your stars into alignment is that you have to set a deadline. As someone who would consider themselves a free spirit, I don't like time constraints or the feeling of structures and time pressures, and maybe you could relate, but I have to admit that setting definite deadlines has been a crucial element to making progress towards my goals. And there's a psychological component as well that I want to talk about in a second. But first, I just want to emphasize again the importance of setting a clear time frame and expectation by which we want to either reach and achieve a goal, make a decision, because according to best-selling author and speaker Brian Tracy, setting deadlines increases our likelihood of success by as much as 11.5%. So we're 11 times, it's actually 11 and a half times more likely to increase the likelihood of our success, which is huge. So setting a deadline not only increases our likelihood of success, because it really helps us to prioritize with all of the various spinning plates of life. We know that no matter what, when we set a deadline on January 1st or September 1 to have a new job or to have X amount of money saved or to start our new podcast or blog post, having that deadline creates an accountability standard for us. And it really then forces us to start creating a process that we need to take to work towards completing that goal. And we're more internally motivated because then there's this clock ticking, which is a good thing because we know, well, I could sleep in this morning, but if I do skip the gym, I may risk setting myself back when it comes to my December 1st fitness or weight goal. Or, I could spend a few hours just vegging out on Netflix, but if I do that, I'm risking delaying finishing the blog post, the article, the podcast episode that I promised myself that I would post next week. You see what starts to happen? It's once again, we have this internal standard of integrity to which will help us to determine which activities we have time for and which ones could really impact in a negative way us reaching our goal or setting us back. And setting these deadlines, setting these deadlines for us, it's also a way for us to keep promises to ourselves. And that is also going to help start to change and shape our own internal identity of seeing ourselves as a finisher, as someone that can honor integrity to ourselves and someone that can exercise self-discipline, which is all important. So the final building block I like to offer to generating that momentum through personal accountability is creating systems and habits for momentum. In the book Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about how results have everything to do with the systems that we follow. Systems include the daily, the weekly, the monthly habits. And trust me, the outcomes of the end result are going to take care of itself if we continue to create systems and habits that, as my coach Io says, help make our boat go faster. So I want to talk about 2 habits that can really help you to make progress as you're working towards your goal. The first being to create a productivity time block. I recently took Io's 12-week momentum course, and one of the most powerful productivity habits I picked up and have been integrating into my life is the concept of a time block. And a time block is when you set aside non-negotiable window of time for you to do nothing besides focus on that goal which you have set. For example, let's go back. If health is your priority, maybe every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you pick a 1-hour time slot for you to go to the gym. That's your time block to solely focus on that. Or maybe you set every Sunday for an hour a timer to work on your blog post, to create social media content, to research jobs, whatever your goal may be. And so once again, by creating this system, this habit, you've then built into your day, your week, time that's set aside for you to just think about and work on your goal. And that will help you build momentum. For example, when I started to work on creating content, whether it be for Instagram or social media or just the podcast in general, for me, every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday from either 6 a.m. to 7:30 in the morning or 8 p.m. to 9:30 at night, I would focus on reading and writing content. And with that being my time block, once I was done with it, I was done with it. I could spend that time once again just focusing on it. And I didn't necessarily need to go beyond that or do extra or block out a whole Saturday or block out a whole Sunday. I just continued to honor that habit, daily, weekly, monthly habit. And over time, I was able to make so much progress in terms of getting tasks and activities done that really fueled my creative dreams and pursuits. And that's something that you should think about, once again, as you're trying to make consistent progress towards your goals. Now, on the flip side, with creating systems and habits for momentum, you could also create systems and habits as a way to reduce things that maybe aren't helping you make progress toward your goals and your visions. For example, we all know TV and social media can be hindrance to us in this area. And so it's super easy, as we know, to spend mindless hours scrolling social media or vegging on TV shows. But if we're trying to put our own stars into alignment, we have to think about how much we would benefit from minimizing some of that. And it doesn't mean you need to go cold turkey unless you choose to. But what I'm saying is creating a habit that limits your social media and TV usage. Perhaps you say, I won't check our social media on Sundays, or I won't watch TV Monday through Wednesday. You just need to decide what weekly habit you'd like to create around social media. And I'm telling you, it will provide you additional freedom and space to apply that energy towards other things that are of interest to you or that you're trying to bring to reality, or habits that you would like to do more: reading, meditation, having time to think on your own, or just be more present. So once again, by creating systems and habits that will aid you towards your vision or goal, it will lead to better and quicker results. Trust me on this. So as I prepare to wrap up this episode, I just want to recap again the importance of getting clear on what you want and why you want it, setting a deadline, which really provides you with the boundary and a limit to work within, and then also creating systems and habits for momentum are some of the key building blocks that will help you make strides when it comes to putting your own stars into alignment. So that is it for today's show. I want to thank you all for your presence in tuning in, with this being the start of season 5. And if you enjoyed this episode, please continue to show your support by sharing the Living Once Twice podcast on Instagram, LinkedIn, or wherever, writing us a review on iTunes. And be sure to follow us again on Instagram at Living Once Twice, or go to the Living Once Twice website for more content updates. Reaching out to you all through the time and the space that separates us to say, remember, your dream life is waiting for you. It's time to go for it. You deserve it. Catch you later on Living Once Twice.